Hi, we are A Sound of Thunder, and you're watching MetalToDeath.com.
Okay, guys, we are here at Jaxx with A Sound of Thunder. How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Good. I'm going to pass the mic around real quick. You guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Chris Heron. I'm the drummer.
I'm Nina. I'm the lead vocals.
I'm Josh, guitars.
Ben, bass.
All right, Sound of Thunder, man. Now, you guys are opening up for Primal Fear tonight. How does that make you feel?
It's exciting. I've been actually a fan since the first album came out and listened to Chainbreaker every day in high school, so I'm definitely excited.
Very cool. All right, now, Nina, tell us what's going on with Sound of Thunder. You guys got an EP out, a record, what?
Actually, we've got an EP out. We've got a charity single for the West Memphis 3, and right now we are working on a full-length album, and it should be due by next fall.
Very cool. That's the other thing I want to ask you, Josh, is that's something that's really close to me, too, is the West Memphis 3. How did you guys get involved with this, and how did you come up with the single?
Really, it just started from me watching Paradise Lost, the documentary about the West Memphis 3, and I was watching it one night at home alone, and I had heard about him before but didn't really know the story, and after I saw the story, I just got really mad, and I sat down with my acoustic guitar and wrote the music to the chorus, and I was thinking "Give them justice at last," which is the line from the chorus, and that was it. I was just pissed off, basically.
Hopefully something's going to change soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I know they're going back to court, and we've got some good support. Henry Rollins is supposed to play the track on his radio program, and Motorhead posted our press release on their official site, so it's been good.
Very cool, very cool. One of the things we're doing right now, we're making a documentary as well on underground bands, signed bands and unsigned bands, and what I want to do is get your guys' thoughts on, a lot of people think that being in a band, there's a lot of glory to it, but they don't know the ups and downs. They don't know about the struggles you guys go through. So I'm going to pass this around. Each of you guys give your little, tidbit or whatever about what it's really like being especially in a metal band nowadays.
Well, first of all, Josh and I started this band about 2 years ago, actually, almost exactly 2 years ago. And we decided that we wanted to make a, metal band with using our influences as musicians and enlisting people in the band who had the same kind of progressive mentality as far as producing music. And one thing has led to another, and we've got the four together now that I can't think of a better mix of people, and also four people that work better together. I've been in many bands in my life, and this by far is the best. And so it's exciting to be a part of, and we'll basically see where it goes. We're going to do our best.
As far as glory goes, I have to say that if you want to be glorious in the in the music industry, metal is not the way to go, because it's not really a mainstream type of music. Nobody who listens to metal is really all that mainstream, and if they are, then they're not really listening to real metal, as you probably well know. I mean, if I wanted to be glorious and, be all popular and famous or whatever, I'd go into pop or R&B or something like that. But I don't, that's not where my heart is.
But then you wouldn't be cool, though, if you were in R&B.
I know.
So.
Well,
sorry, just saying.
But my love is for power metal. My love is for Euro metal and 80s metal, and I love it. It really hits my heart the right way, and I don't feel right singing anything else, and that's why I love this band so much.
Very cool. Josh?
The thing I really like about this band is that we're not ever going to try to do something poppy to intentionally be poppy, and a lot of metal bands won't do that. But on the flip side, we also never try to be totally metal just for the sake of being metal. We just pretty much write the stuff that we like, and it's not like a bunch of these European bands where every song's about a dragon. Like,
hey, shut up! I like those bands.
You know what I mean? We'll write a song about a dragon, but we don't feel the need for them all to be about dragons.
Oh, no.
So,
at least 10.
and I like it. I mean, I think it's a real cool mix of everything, going back to like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and early '70s stuff through to modern metal. And it's still blues-based, but we'll get a little classical, and it's just, I don't know, I think we've got a good, interesting mix going on. And,
cool.
And
okay.
I think that's kind of what we have, is everybody's diverse, and we all come from kind of rampantly different musical backgrounds. Chris played in college. I played in a symphony. Josh has been playing metal for ages. So, I mean, we're all kind of diverse, and we just kind of mesh it all together, and it happens to sound like metal, so that's what we are.
Okay, cool. All right, who does most of the songwriting for the band? Or is it all of you?
Musically, that would be me, but I write almost none of the lyrics.
Okay, who writes lyrics?
That would be me and Chris.
Okay, where do you guys, other than dragons, where do you guys, where do you guys?
It was going to come to this at some point.
I know.
We have to justify the way we write our lyrics.
We are wildly different in how we write our lyrics. Chris is more, he writes from the heart. Like, you can tell in every song that Chris writes that he has a huge underlying meaning of something powerful and something deep, whereas none of my lyrics are deep at all. I write about dragons and fairies and aliens from space.
Aliens are good.
Literally, one of our songs is about blood vomit, and that song is near and dear to my heart.
Blood vomit.
Yes. And we'll be playing that for the first time tonight.
So you're seeing it here. This is a premiere of Blood Vomit.
It was renamed, though. It was retitled.
It was retitled. It's now called Crimes of Man.
I don't know.
But
I like Blood Vomit.
I do
Blood
too.
Vomit's
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does have a certain ring to
You'll
it.
get more of a fan reaction with Blood Vomit.
I
think.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Go to our MySpace. Tell us what you like.
Yeah, please vote.
Okay, cool. Well, one of the other things that we touch on when I do a lot of these interviews is, because it's like so many people have different opinions on it, how do you guys feel about bands that add like spiritual stuff to their music? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it should be left out of metal?
Ooh, you know what? Like,
Or any kind.
you know, it really depends, because personally, I have been in situations where bandmates have been offended by even having a belief. Like, it doesn't even matter what it was just any belief. You know, they just got angry. So personally, I try to keep that as far away from my music as possible. You can tell what I am and who I am by talking to me, but in terms of music, I don't want to put too much in there, not because I don't want to offend anybody, but because I don't feel right trying to spread my beliefs or, you know, agendas that way.
Right. Okay,
That's
cool.
just me.
Anybody else?
I mean, I think we all have a strong sense of like right and wrong, and eventually you might hear us sing about right and wrong, but probably not about religion.
Very cool. Okay, cool. All right, now what, if you can go back to the first time, who was that one band that just got you and infected you with metal, and you said, this is what I got to do forever?
Metal or music in general?
Okay, let's go music in general. Let's do that.
God, I'm thinking way back. God, about 20 of them, and different types of bands, completely different types of bands. God, early in life, when I was probably Led Zeppelin, I would say Led Zeppelin when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, definitely 7, 8, 9 years old. Then followed closely on the heels by Yes, of all things.
Okay.
And then from there, it just, God, it'd be hard for me to sit and name just one or two bands. It would be 20 or 30 bands. And of course, you know, with the passing of Ronnie James Dio, that's been rather poignant. You know, he's certainly coming along later in my life and certainly influenced the four of us, you know, individually and collectively.
I'm kind of honestly a newbie as far as like metal is concerned, because when I was little, you know, I'm the kid of two immigrants, so I was listening to opera and classical music, and that was pretty much it. So the very first band that made me realize that this is what I wanted to do is Hammerfall.
Okay, all right.
Honestly, me and my husband saw Hammerfall at the record store. We thought the name was cool. We gave it a try, and the first song we ever heard was Over the Rainbow, and it was like the greatest song in the universe, and it opened my eyes to the world of power metal.
The Hammerfall, okay.
Very Dio influenced, that song.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
My first record that really got me into metal was Speak of the Devil by Ozzy, which is all Sabbath covers. And it didn't take me long to figure out that what I really liked about it was Tony Iommi, who doesn't play on that record. But when I got the original recordings, I realized how much better they were. And so definitely Tony Iommi's the guy. And I'm talking about everything he ever did, especially the stuff with Dio, stuff with Tony Martin that's way underrated. But Iommi's the genius. And other than that, big guys like Richie Blackmore and Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult.
I'm all over the place musically. I started listening to Rush when I was in the cradle. My dad was addicted to it. He couldn't help it. I know there's a lot of people who despise them for no real apparent reason, but I'm addicted to them. You got to love Geddy Lee. Yes is awesome. I'm also listening to a lot of jazz, Coltrane and Jaco Pastorius, and if you listen to Götterdämmerung from Wagner, that's pretty heavy metal in my book. So all over the place.
All right, cool. Now, how does stage performance, or not performance, but let's say imagery, play into your guys' band? You guys, does it matter, or you just get up there and just thrash it out?
You know what? It kind of matters, just because as a band, you want to be able to entertain, not just with your music, but with what they see. And if we were just to stand up there, I would be pretty bored just watching some guys perform and not do anything. So I try to make it as entertaining as I possibly can, and I might look like a total jackass, but at least it's entertaining, and at least you're looking at me for some reason.
Very cool. Okay. All right. So what's going on in the summer for Sound of Thunder? What do you guys got going on?
It's looking like we might actually be doing 2 albums back to back, because we've got 5 in the can already for our first full-length album, and the other 3 for the album are earmarked, and we've got. I have 3 years worth of songs backlog that I wrote at home and demoed at home, and we've got a bunch of other stuff that we wrote in rehearsal together. So it's looking. Ben's dad's a recording engineer, so it's looking like we might be doing 2 albums back to back, and then
second one will be the Dragon album.
the Dragon album, yeah.
Dragon album. Oh, no.
And yeah.
The Dragon. Is that what it's going to be called? The Dragon album?
I don't know. Are we going to call it the Dragon album?
Try my hand writing Dragon lyrics. I've never done that before. I want to try that.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. We're going to see Blood Vomit tonight. I want you to touch real quick on the West Memphis 3 song again. And for those that are going to watch this that don't know, just give it like a quick little explanation about what it's for.
Sure. Okay. The song's called Justice at Last. It's up on iTunes and Amazon now. The West Memphis 3 are basically 3 young men who lived in West Memphis, Arkansas, and in 1993 in that town, 3 8-year-old boys were murdered, brutally murdered. And at the time, there was no physical evidence leading to anybody, including these 3 older boys who were about 16, 17 at the time. And they happened to be the 3 metalheads in town. They had long hair. They wore black T-shirts. And there was absolutely no evidence linking them to that crime at all. But because the police needed to get somebody, and because it was kind of a satanic panic going on at that time, these 3 kids got linked to it. And the only evidence they ever had was a coerced confession from one of the 3 guys who happened to be mentally handicapped. And the police kept him in the police station for 12 hours. Interrogating him with no lawyer present, no parents present, and they only recorded the last half hour of the interrogation. So I think it's pretty clear what went on there. And since these kids have been in jail, one of them is on death row. The other 2 are in there for life. The longer they've been in there, the more clear it's become that they got railroaded, that they didn't do it, and that there's evidence possibly pointing to other people, including one of the victims' stepdads, and they found hair on one of the bodies now. But so many people, including like the judges of the case originally and the police, have built careers off it that they're just dragging their feet and doing anything they can to keep this from coming up for appeal. So 100% of the proceeds from the single go to the West Memphis 3 Legal Defense Fund. They really need the help, so anything you can do. Download the song would be great.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for doing that. I'm sure they're going to appreciate it. And it's WM3.org, right? That's their yeah. Go to WM3.org. Check it out. If you don't know anything about it, go find out about it, because it's really a very important cause. Also, one more time, throw it up for Ronnie James Dio. We miss him. Sucks, dude. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.